Hello and welcome back. Today we're playing this bant aang list that just got first place at the most standard challenge events, going 8-1. That's quite the record. I haven't played it yet in best of one because it doesn't really seem to do that well in best of one. It's got a D tier, D is in dog tier win rate in best of one, but it could just be hard to pilot. So we're going to try it out here anyway. It's got some really good combos in it. For example, Bramble Familiar is really quite good. Normally this would cost 7 mana to get the big mill 7, put a creature onto the battlefield for free, get that triggered, all that stuff. But if you airbend the Familiar as a creature, you can actually cast either half for 2. So you can cast the Fetch Quest, which should be normally 7 mana, for 2. Obviously that's some great mana cheating. And if you have Dock or Lock out, all your airbending goes from 2 mana down to 0, which means you now have a 0 mana 7, 0 mana to cast, which should be 7. So that is a very cheap way to cast that half of it. Other stuff going on here, you got kind of the Appa combo where you can bounce your whole board, and then if you have Dock or Lock, you can then cast back everything from airbending for 0 mana and create an extra 1/1 token for each of those cards recast off of Appa, so that's a strong way to do it. You can also try to loop Aang at the crossroads. You play it, it ETBs, you look at top 5, maybe you hit Aang the Swift Savior, you airbend the original Aang, you cast it back for 2 or maybe for 0 mana off Orlok, get another ETB, blah blah blah. You can run that a lot, and if you have if you have an Appa out, then you get a 1/1 for each of those airbending attempts. Nature's Rhythm, pretty good at fetching parts of the combo piece, can get a Cub, can get a Familiar, can get a Dock Orlok, could get an Aang if you want to pay a little bit more, could get really any piece, man, how much mana you have available. Badger Mole showing up in all these decks, very good card. And then the Riddler is also a good target for airbending and bouncing. Airbend it and then cast it back for 2 is a cheap way to get a 5 mana 4/6 on the battlefield. And Airbender Ascension can also airbend some stuff and then blink it on end phase, which is good. So yeah, it's got a lot of moving parts. We're going to try it out here unedited as usual in ranked best of 1 and see how it does. If you like the content, you can like the video and subscribe and leave comments. Here we go. Into the fray. Kim Kimmer is Kiminin. We're on the play. Looks great. We have no whites, but Gene Pollinator can fix that, or at least help with that. Gene Pollinator. What a name for a card. Think about that. A robot insect artifact creature. Pollinating genes. Well, there's some white if we want it. But, yeah, it seems like we are going to want that, actually. Let's go ahead and do this on whites. Chip in for 1. Just 4 mana next turn. Badger Mole Cub. We can go Riddler for 2 and then Ascension, which seems okay. Leave open white. Alright. The other thing we could do is we can also airbend the Familiar. Yeah, we like the ramp because we're gonna Aang next turn. Okay, let's try to airbend the Riddler here. See if that makes any sense. If I play this out, we should still have 2 mana left, right? I think I'm gonna play this first. Tap you, because we're about to airbend you anyway. Riddler has been airbended. Okay. Hopefully I did not miss an extra draw there. What did I play first? No, I think we're okay. I made that mistake in the Is It video, apparently a lot. I wasn't paying attention that if you have 1 or fewer cards in the hand when you play it, you draw an extra card. So I'll try to be more mindful of that. I don't really play this card a lot. I don't always do, I don't always spam the same meta decks over and over. So I kind of forget about some lines of text from time to time. Okay, so I guess they're also bant aang is my guess. So they want to airbend one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a lot of mana here. I think we try this. Try to get the hand size down before casting the Riddler. So let that one resolve. Okay. Appa or Badger Mold double all the mana production. Appa lets us recast Aang, which is not bad. Badger Mold doubles mana production, which is a crazy amount of mana. Depends what we draw here. Feels like Appa's a little bit safer. We could just draw some lands and whiff. I don't know. I think we just bounce you. And I still think they might Aang airbend the Riddler away. We'll see. Let's try this. Well, we got the one card in hand. Alright, so there is the Aang. And they do airbend the... They do airbend the Riddler. But we're not in a bad position. We got a lot of mana. Opponent's sitting on 5 mana here. Alright, they do their own Aang at the crossroads. Let's see how good the hit is. It's an Appa. Probably bounce both those guys. Alright, it's a game. Who can get the Doc Orlok combo going first, I think is the deciding factor here. Alright. We probably want to get hand size low. Does it matter which order I do this in? Yeah, we could hit an Orlok, which could save mana. I guess we'll start here. Airbending Ascension is up, so now we can blink the Riddler on end step, which is pretty good as well. There it is. Alright, that makes you 0. Pretty happy to cast this guy out now. Alright, draw 2. Both lands, sadly. We can return the Familiar to hand. If we blink Appa, we can recast a bunch of crap here, right? I guess, When it enters, airbend any number of land permanents. We can airbend everything here, right? I think this is what we're supposed to do here? We're figuring it out on the fly. So now we replay all this stuff, hopefully for free, I guess. I want to play you back for free as well. Can they kill Doc Orlok? No, I don't think so. If we do everything, then we get big Appa triggers? I don't know. I think I want to keep the mana dorks out there. We get more 1/1s, but I'm not really worried about that. I think this guy too? Okay. So you could blink all the mana dorks and then recast them and get an extra 1/1 off the Appa. But I'm just afraid, like, if they mess with us too much, I don't want to get in a state where we have to, like, recast Doc Orlok and recast Appa. Alright, here comes their big turn. But if they tap out here, then nobody's going to Aang, you know, disrupt our combo, I guess. Aang, bounce Appa. Oh, that's infinite, right? So then they go Appa here, and they bounce Aang. Okay, so they get to go infinite, but I don't think they can win this turn, because they don't have haste. And we were lacking the... We were lacking the extra Aang. So this is weird because... I mean, they can literally do this as many times as they want, right? So they can make infinite 1/1s, but then, you know, we could have the same results. And then I guess they would win? I don't know. Maybe they'll mill themselves out. Assuming we can hit our own Aang Swift Savior, then we can run the exact same combo. But is there any way to bounce the whole board is the question? Or bounce the opponent's board? We are going to sit here a while, though. I mean, they're going to do this full thing, I guess. So maybe we'll read some comments. I mean, I should be strategizing a bit what to do next, but I'm not really sure what to do here. Again, the big question is, can we hit our own Aang Swift Savior and then also have our own little infinite combo here, make infinite 1/1s? Ah, yes. Standard. The balanced format. This is good gameplay. Well-balanced mechanics. Well-thought-out interactions. I wonder if they'll mill themselves out, though. Is there a way they can bounce our whole board? Appa bounce one Swift Savior. Play a Swift Savior, bounce one of our things. Then what? They have 42 cards left. Oh my god. Alright, yeah, we might take a little break to read comments. I don't really know what else to do here. I don't think the game's over, though. If nobody has haste, then, you know, how do you win? Are we done? No? Maybe there ought to be a card here to give haste. You know, starting town can make red. You could throw a random Imidane's Recruiter in here. Maybe there are better creatures to hit. But that would give you a way to win out of nowhere. Just a single of those in the deck. I guess if you mill it out with the Bramble Familiar, then that's not so good. But you don't have to do that. You can make the full board first before milling anything. Alright, they're starting to mill here. You know, the Aven Interrupter is actually pretty relevant. Because now spells your opponents cast cost 2 more to cast. So we actually can't just go infinite anymore. Maybe that's a good reason to scoop here. Oh, they have Crater Hoof. They do have a win con. Okay, alright. At least they have something. Alright, we don't need to see the rest of this. I don't even know if it's... Yeah, they got some big boys in here. I think the Aven Interrupter is what does it. That's a good enough card to break the mirror. Because I think the Orlok is legendary. So you can't play it in multiples. Alright, well that was a riveting game of Magic the Gathering. I would say more entertaining than waiting for the opponent's Omniscience. you know, draw the whole deck thing to go off. Well, at least we got to watch something. Something was happening on the board. I'd say that's slightly more engaging. This is called a double white hand. Cast nothing. This is a mulligan right here. Should the opponent grace us with that decision? Mulligan, much better. In fact, almost identical. We don't really need the Gene Pollinator. It doesn't actually work so well. It's not so productive. I think we'll keep the land instead. And our mana's pretty good. Yeah, we got it. We got literally everything. Okay, we'll try it like this. Passage on red, alright. Here's an elf. They're gonna flash this thing. I guess we can do it like this. Blue-red flash creature. They could have one, technically. They're not, but they could. I actually do. Look at that. It's like, I don't know. I think it's actually not worth attacking here. Yeah, no, I want my ramp. I'd like to aang next turn, so let's do nothing. Yeah, I actually love this card. I haven't played it in so long. I always try to shove it in decks, and then I guess it gets cut at the end. 2 mana, 2/1 flash flyer, draw a discard every turn. It's a great card. We're going Grixis here. Okay. Okay. We'll try this into 3 open mana. No double blue, though. Resolves. ETB is an Appa. Definitely bounce you and airbend you as well. Okay. Great. That is a fantastic hit there. Alright, that's a big sweeper. Grixis, ill-timed explosion, just a 4 mana draw to, though. I guess they want us to overcommit before the next sweeper. That's pretty interesting. How do we deal with that? Ideally, we, like, keep using Appa to dodge it. This could be a little dicey, actually. So there's Aang. Can use Aang to bounce Appa. Use Appa to save the whole board. Seems pretty good to me. Okay. And now we're set on that front, so we can go take our mill 7. There's another Appa. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. Appa bounce the whole board, right? I mean, that's the whole thing, right? And we have backup Appa anyway. I mean, I think that's basically game then? Because now we're holding on to the next Appa, which we can use to save the whole board. Ideally, we finish with, like... Oh, that's a hell of a whiff. Okay. This is 1 mana? Hold on. Oh, it's the adventure half? Okay. I mean, better than holding Ice Scoop there. If we hold Aang, then, I guess, yeah. I guess you just do the Aang Appa combo to have infinite stuff, and then finish the combo with Aang and Exile. And then when they go for the sweep, you just bounce it and then win next turn. I think that's the cleanest way to do it. I'm pretty glad the opponent scooped, though. I didn't really need to sit there for the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this deck. It's definitely a lot of force your opponent to sit there and do nothing for a while. It's a good Magic experience. Kuko. I've been watching Better Call Saul lately. Oh my gosh, is that series good. I am thoroughly enjoying it. This is a great opening hand. Keep this. I won't spoil. I think I got to the end of season 3. And I think season 3 ends with a pretty big thing. And then there's a scene. How can I say this? There's a scene between Jimmy and Kim and Howard. You know, talking about the aftermath of season 3. And Jimmy's got a great response that I did not see coming. I like that. Okay. We got to focus up here. Mana-wise, we're good to go. I want to do this. And then next turn, try to figure out a Riddler Aang thing. 2 mana Riddler. Then Aang Airbender, then Riddle again. Seems like a good direction to go. So in terms of things to ban from Standard, I think you should ban Doc Orlok. Not that it's a bad card, it's just 0 mana discount. I guarantee they just didn't think about this combo, right? How far does that set us back here? 4 mana, so we actually cannot do the full thing yet. Okay, that's fine. As long as the auto tapper doesn't do anything weird. Okay, well. Swing for 4. Widow goes into Warp Adventure. It's only 3 off the Doc Orlok. Forgot about that. Shock. So ideally we save Aang to stop the Kona for a turn. If we do that, we'll have no white open. We want to leave white open. White and blue. Oh, we cannot do that, can we? So if we want to stop Kona, we have to hold on to Aang here and just like attack all basically for the most part. I don't think we have enough mana to Riddler and play Aang. White and blue. Okay. So everyone except the white Verge can get in there, maybe? So this is white and green. Oh, interesting. That is going to tank a lot of our mana. Oh, it's only X equals 1. All right, let's see where they go. Okay, that's okay, actually. I might have messed that up a little bit. So this is white, blue, and double green open. So that's enough for Aang. I think that's what has to happen here. I might have mismathed, because the cub means we have extra 2 green on each of these. I might have mismathed that, but... Okay, sitting on Aang. Aang is good in best of 1, because he does what the Tidebinder does. The games that end on turn 4, you actually stall them a little bit. And it's one of the only things that gets through counters, through Cavern of Souls, so... It's going to be decent from that standpoint, at least. All right, a mixed bag so far. I don't dislike that first opponent for having a random win con in there. I think that makes sense. I don't know if it has to be Crater Hoof, but if you can go infinite with tokens, having some random creature to hit to win that turn, I think is very reasonable. This is a good hand. We go ramp, familiar, airbend the familiar, and then cast back for 2. And then hope to hit something juicy off of that. We don't actually have second white yet to cast Appa, so hopefully we can find our way through to that. Not on 1. Alright, same deck, back to back. Joy. Okay. It's a good card. Tapland Dragonstorm. No green for Kona yet, but they can still Kona and win this next turn. Cavern of Souls, yeah, I mean, it's going to be that deck for sure. Nothing we can do against Kona right here, right? We have no instant speed way to handle all this. I think we'll start with this. Whew! Okay. We actually still don't have double white, do we? Might leave this familiar in hand to just cast. Because you don't have double white to do Appa, otherwise maybe you go play it out and then Appa and airbend both and then cast both back next turn, but currently we can't even Appa without double white, but we can go, 3, 6, 7, 8 mana and just cast the Bramble Familiar from hand. Alright, let's see if they got it. Do nothing. Upkeep, stop. I think they're gonna Lost in the Maze? No, there's the next white source. Interesting. We got 11 mana here. And it looks like they do wanna... I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we're attacking with everything that's not a creature land and use all the creature land stuff for mana. Try to pull off a big Appa turn with a lot of mana, even if we don't have Dock or Lock. Question is, do we attack with the familiar or use it for mana? I think we use it for mana here. I think they do have Lost in the Maze, though. I forget how much that costs, that spell cast cost, but I think they want to tap something down before combat. Being very suspicious about everything. Timer coming out. Okay. I mean, we'd love to finish the turn with a Aang in hand to airbend the Kona. In order to do that, we need to draw. And to draw, we would need a... Okay, that's weird. I think it's just these guys still. We do threaten lethal, but I think it's just this. Need the mana of everything else, right? I can't... I should have tapped the land first, and then I could do the Cubs too, but... Oh well, here we go. Then I could replay the Cubs. So there's an Aang Swift Savior. I think we'll take the Dock Warlock, though. Oh, we got to draw somehow. That's really the thing here. Nature's Rhythm. Airbending Ascension. Okay. We need to draw, I said. Appa's good, though. We need to Nature's Rhythm and get up to... I don't know if we can do everything here. We want to finish the turn with white mana open? I don't remember if I've played land yet this turn. I think we'll keep going because I don't know what else to do, really. Still need a way to get white mana here. I don't know if we're able to pull this off. We can still win next turn. There's an Aang, but it's just like not Oh, here we go. Now we flash in Appa. Okay, now we got it. Now we got it, right? I think we can just end here. So now we go get Appa back to hand. I think that does it. Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Alright, now we're all set to go. We can play out stuff or not, doesn't matter. Yeah, so now we can Appa the Aang, and then Aang the whatever spell. So that's good enough. Here we can just end and be happy. I think. I mean, we could do the whole thing more, but they're at 4, so I think that's about enough. Stock up is fine. Shock land. Sure. That's a lot of fanfare. And then we just swing for lethal. But yeah, Appa for 0 mana to get Aang back to Airbend, and then 0 mana Aang Swift Savior in to return Kona back to hand. That is the way to do that. So far, deck's done pretty well, actually. But they did not have the turn 4 win. They did nothing turn 4. Interesting. On the draw, hand looks great again. Wade Wilson is Deadpool, right? I think that's correct. Real M Lagger says, I'm just started playing Magic, and as someone learning your vids are a godsend. See a deck play out and how to use/learn to how to play it. In general, love it. You're so welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Oh god, I don't want to read this next comment. Ugh, I'll read in a second. Alright, Fastland. Elves. Marco Grawl says, it's my first comment, so you popped my cherry on that, or did I? Blah! Good content, I enjoyed it a lot, thank you, Doctor. You're begrudgingly welcome. We seem to want this stuff down early. Try this. We seem to need white sometimes, so Alright. Countered. Fair enough. No mole for me. Can try again here. Countered again. Nobody likes the mole. Then we're looking at a next turn aang, and then if they sweep, I think that's the entire game. Is there any reason not to aang? If we Nature's Rhythm for 3, just get the mini aang. That's necessarily worth it. I don't even know if I want to attack necessarily into a Ride's End with the Orlock. So here comes Aang the Crosswords. I think this is our best play. Again, if it resolves and they Day of Judgment, that's probably about it. Bramble Familiar. We can Nature's Rhythm for X equals 4, get Aang, and like bounce a bunch of stuff. We already have a good amount of mana. So maybe we'll take the Familiar. We'll see if they sweep anyway. Yeah, I guess I don't really need mana with the Doc or Lockout for the most part. So I think that's the right pick over the Cub. I don't even know if I want to attack into Ride's End. Let's just hang out here. I don't know if that's worth it. This is a very important card for us to keep around. Alright, let's see the Ultima. Let's see the Day of Judgment. I'm ready. It's tap play. Oh, it's a mill deck. That means they have a ton of sweepers. Just awful. 4 Day of Judgments, for sure. No way you don't have that. Split up. Lovely. Okay. Now what? Next Doc Orlock isn't bad. Could still look for Aang later. What's left in here? X equals 4. Yeah, it's still just the other Aang. Let's do it like this. Get another white down here. So yeah, X equals 4 Aang. No, that's not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. X equals 4. Appa bounce the elf. We play the elf for 0. Get a token. It's not doing a whole lot. Land off the top would let us get the Aang or the Riddler. Might even take the Riddler. It's not a land off the top. Less worried about Ride's End now. I think we need some kind of pressure. Not gonna throw anything. Not gonna throw the elf into the Fountain Port though. Do you have Ride's End? You do have Ride's End. Damn it. Okay, double blue open. X. I think it's just this. I don't think getting Appa or 3 mana Aang is so helpful here. I think you want the 5 mana card. So we're still looking for land off the top to go 7 mana total, X equals 5. Hope that's not countered. If it is countered, we get to run it back one more time. This is no more lies. Nah, I think we go again here. You can get in there though. Heroic. Okay, so next time we try to go 7 mana Nature's Rhythm. And I think we get the Riddler over the Aang, which could whiff. Nope. Let's go ahead and do nothing instead. I prefer that. There's Appa. Alright, we could go get the badge roll here and up the mana a bit. If we flash in Appa, and then no, we need the, or we could get Orlock right here and hope to have a good top deck. Oh, God, I think we need mana. I think we should get a mole. And then we try to use the mole to cast back Nature's Rhythm again. I mean, they're going to have a lot of sweepers in this deck. So, if they're willing. Even if they're not willing there. Like, this is going to be a very tough matchup for us. That's a good card off the top. I'll tell you that. I mean, they probably counter it, but, could try. I want to play it while we got the mana here. We can pay for that, and then they can do it again. It's worth it. So now they go second, no more lies here. Yep. 2 mana open for another Ride's End, unfortunately. I'm still going to attack with a Cub, though. I mean, we do need to put some amount of pressure. Alright, no Ride's End that time. Nice. They've not started Fountain Porting, though, which is interesting. X equals 2. So we could get Dock or Lock if we want. Or another Badger Mole. I think we'll try to get Dock or Lock here. I'm sure they'll counter this though. Alright, hard counter. Opponent at 13, draw 2, discard. We're sitting on Appa and Airbending Ascension. Yeah, I was kind of worried about that. Dock or Lock. 2 mana open to counter the... No, we can pay for the Badger Mole on the way back down. Five mana here. I mean, we want to try to Orlock if we can. Airbending Ascension? What's the point of that? There's a big point in doing that. To 13. Opponent's got 1 card in hand and a Fountain Port. What is that last card in hand? It's just a Fountain Port fish block. Oh, create a treasure. Okay, interesting. I think we go for it now, and we replay it and have a pretty wide board to attack with. I think that is the play here. I think we hope they whiff. Airbending Ascension, bounce Appa. Airbend Appa. save Appa to save against a top deck of a sweeper. Currently hitting for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're hitting for 8. It's not lethal. And we are on a 2-turn clock. If enough creatures enter, we could blink the Appa and have 1 flying blocker back. Destroy all tapped creatures. I mean, I think we flash in and save just the Dock Warlock. But we need the Dock Warlock. We do. And they counter on the way back down or something awful. Maybe they counter this right here. Try to save you. Do we replay the Badger Mole Cub? We're not going to be lethal either way. Attack with Appa. Earthbend Appa? Oh shit, did I mean to bounce the Ascension? I might have meant to bounce the Ascension there too. This might not work out. That took off a lot of pressure that turn. Blocks here. That is not a good top deck. So I think we attack with everything, and then end step use Airbender Ascension, exile Appa, return it to the battlefield, right? As our only blocker. Okay. Draw a card. That's a 4. I don't know if we bounce at this point unless we're really thinking about a sweeper here. We have a good number of attackers. We have a lot of attackers here. Maybe we can bounce these guys. Bounce the Essentialist Airbend one more thing. Okay, removal spell does it. Swing for 6. We have 1 blocker. Or copy. Looks like 3 steps ahead. Oh, that's a big... draw 2. Interesting. Not a draw 8. Could you not draw 8 there? Get lost. Kills the flying blocker. And then swing for lethal. Alright. We'll wrap up there. I had a fun day. I feel like we could have... Man, if we had not bounced... We might have bounced a few too many creatures with that last Appa. If we had kept, you know, the Badger Mole and the other thing, could we have found lethal? Maybe not. Maybe. Maybe not. We maybe only have 3 extra damage. Not sure. Not sure. Yeah, interesting deck. I would say the infinite combo is probably not so good for the health of standard. Nobody really needs to sit around while you Appa the Aang and then Aang the Appa and do that as many times as you want. Like, that's probably not a good thing in standard. It's an interesting deck, though. It's definitely better than I thought, I think. I could see why the win rate would be low. There's kind of a lot of choices to make at every stage of the game. So, yeah, it actually was pretty fun. I just don't know if it's so good for standard, per se. But, yeah, you can play it if you want. Just don't queue up against me. If you enjoyed today's video, unedited all the way through as usual, you can like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.